This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, it's in San Antonio, Texas. He's going to eliminate Rocky Maivia and Terry Funk before The Undertaker eliminates him. But I got to say, it's probably a little bit of a thrill for the fan inside the Mankind character, Mr. Mick Foley, to be working with Terry Funk in Texas on a WWF pay-per-view. That had to be something he was excited about.
Yeah, one of those special moments, because those of us that know Mick's true feelings toward Terry, it's like a father-son thing. And Mick learned so much from Terry over the years. Terry's a great mentor. He's like Mark Henry's going to be in AEW. He's going to be a great mentor to these kids. Mark is the age, he's almost 50. He likes coaching and coaching them up. And Terry always enjoyed coaching up Mick and talking to him. God damn you, Mick. You can't do that, or I'll stick my brother Dory on your ass. But he was that's a special relationship. And by the way, it still is. Still is. And but I enjoy, I think you're right. Mick probably would look back at that day as one of his favorite days on the job.
Well, we know what's coming next. It's a one-off. Mankind's going to go down to Amarillo, Texas to work Terry Funk's WrestleFest. Supposedly, this is Terry Funk's final retirement. Of course, we know that's the case. He's going to be at the next WrestleMania, in fact. But still, Mankind gets permission to come down to town and wrestle ECW Sabu. Yep. And obviously, you're probably making some decisions in this era, but anything that Terry Funk needs, no big deal, right?
That's right, no doubt. Whatever he needed to make a special night more special, Mick wanted to be a part of it. You know, Terry's Mick's hero. And I'm not going to be the guy that says, well, you can't go celebrate your hero.
Right.
Because that doesn't just affect Mick, Conrad. That feeling and that emotion affects others in the locker room that have like feelings toward legends like Terry Funk. And I never talked to anybody that I can recall that didn't have a Terry Funk story or didn't have a Terry Funk memory or experience or whatever. He's that iconic, is Terry. And Terry's one of the top 4 or 5 all-time performers that I ever saw, period. And I'm not trying to create more controversy. Who's the best this and who's the best that and all that bullshit. But you look at his track record and his tenure and the success he had as a NWA champion wrestling heel, as an NWA champion as a babyface, at different parts of the geography fit, then, you know, he could do either one well. So I wasn't going to be the guy to stand in the way. I wasn't wild about the booking. That's what Terry wanted. That's what we did. And the reason I wasn't wild about the booking had nothing to do with Sabu. It had the fact to do, you got 2 very combustible, unique talents that you've got to believe we're going to try to steal the show at every second that are booked. And it might be too much. I mean, you know, I don't know how many chair shots do you need to have to the head? How many more do you need? You know what I mean? You know, they're going to go the extra mile, but I had no issues with it. Vince didn't either. You know, I'm sure we paid the trance. We got him down there. We did everything we needed to do. And I don't know that there's even a payday involved. Big Man worked that show for free. Wouldn't surprise me if we go back and look.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. You know, if it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at SaveWithConrad.com. Well, next up, Mick gets hurt at a TV taping. It's a rib injury, and we're not going to see him for a few weeks. But he does come back right at the very end of the year, December 29th. He's going to do the whole Transform interview again, where Dude Love goes to Mankind and then back to Cactus Jack. It gets a huge pop at the Nassau Coliseum. and he's going to beat the hell out of the New Age Outlaws, which leads to Chainsaw Charlie debuting by cutting his way out of a wooden box. Of course, as Jim Cornette has told us, anybody who comes out of a box is instantly over. But what's fascinating,
damn it.
again,
Put him in a box.
Late summer, you guys let him go work Terry Funk's retirement show. Late December, Terry Funk's back in the WWF. Just par for course for Terry, right?
Yeah, but here's a question I would ask people that had tried to overthink that deal. So you're trying to convince me it's bad to have Terry Funk in your locker room?
Of course not.
God, it's like saying, "Hey, we're gonna bring Pete Rose in. He's got a little checkered past, but some of us knows how to hit, and he's going to be able to be in our dugout in our clubhouse, and we're going to have inevitably players are going to ask him hitting tips, and I think that's what we were with Terry. At least I was always looking to play it forward and trying to get the knowledge out of these dudes, so these young guys can draw upon it in some regard. So, and Chainsaw Charlie was just another character, which meant another set of action figures, which meant another set of more shirts, whatever it may be. So, and he needed to work, and why not? To me, it's an easy hire. I mean, and Vince agreed, and Terry did a nice job with us as Chainsaw Charlie. And Terry Funk's a treasure. He's one of the most amazing individuals I've ever met in the wrestling business. How good he was. Any of those guys you can look back on, Conrad, that were the territory champions, that were the NWA champion type thing when the territories were existing. I got so much respect for those dudes. So Terry on the road would be a baby face in some territories, would be a heel in others, depending on who he was wrestling. And he delivers every single damn time. And that's a hard job because you're never home. You sacrifice all that home life and time with your children, wife, whatever it may be. So, but Terry's incredible. I mean, there should never be a Wrestling Hall of Fame anywhere in the world without him, in my opinion. He would be what you would build a Hall of Fame roster around, a guy like Terry Funk and his brother Dory, for that matter. My brother Dory, Conrad, will come to that goddamn Alabama and whip your ass. So anyway, as you can tell, I'm a Terry Funk mark. Sorry, unabashedly.
We've got to talk about how excited Foley must have been. He's tag teaming with his longtime wrestling hero.
Yep.
Here he was, I don't know, 5 weeks after he was upset with the way things went down in Montreal, and now he's teaming with his hardcore icon.
So I didn't overreact in the Montreal deal because I figured how it might come out, knowing Mick as I did.
Yeah.
And it did work out that way. He needed some time to think everything through about what he had witnessed and how it may or may not affect his career or his mindset, his presentation. And you give him the time. And when we got him back, he was, like you said, he was ready to go. And he did. And it was nice that when you lose a friend like Bret Hart from the locker room and someone that has great leadership skills and is beloved by his own peers. One nice thing about this deal is good catch there, is the fact that Mick was reunited with Terry, and that's going to make him happy. So that's kind of how we looked at it anyway.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.